Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a box that measures 3 by 4 by 1 1/4, and inside is the widely loved Little Debbie Christmas tree cake. They're delicious. They just taste like pure air and icing, and it's delicious. All right, so I'm using the Above It All bundle, which is retiring. The stamp set is about $10 off. The dies are the same price. All right, so what we need for this project, and the last chance sale is on for the holiday catalog. Please put this host code in for any purchases under $150, not including your tax and shipping. And a lot of the mini catalog is discounted, so if you are interested in something, now's the time. All right, so we need a piece of cherry cobbler that is 9 3/4 by 8 1/2, and I'm using Joy of Christmas Designer Series paper. Of course, we need some basic white for stamping. We need 2 sheets of this green plaid, I guess it is. Yeah, it's like plaid. That are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, 2 that are 1 by 3 3/4, and 2 that are 1 by 2 3/4. Okay, and I also cut this little piece, which goes on the gondola right here, out of cherry cobbler. Okay, then I cut this piece of the snow. It is much bigger in the dies, but I cut it out, and then I cut the height of it to 1 1/4 inches right here, and the length from this side over I cut to 2 7/8, and then it fits right down on the bottom of our box. Okay, and this is the glitter paper. Alrighty, so now let me get my Simply Scored, and we're going to start on the 9 3/4 inch side and score at 1 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/2. Then turn it to the 8 1/2 inch side and score at 1, 2 1/4, 6 1/4, and 7 1/2. All right. Now I'm going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. And this is symmetrical, so all around there is 1 inch strips on the top and bottom, and 1 1/4 inch on the sides. And this is what we're going to be doing. Okay. All right. So we're going to start over here. Okay, go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, get rid of the rectangle on the bottom, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, next score line, cut it to the second score line, get rid of this rectangle on the bottom, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, now we're going to take off these 4 pieces here and take that score line off with it. Just go right underneath. Okay, and that's that side. Now we're going to turn it to the other side, and we're going to count to the second score line, cut it to the second score line, and take all 4 pieces off of this side, same like we did on the other side. All right, go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, Get rid of this rectangle on the bottom and wedge both sides of the square. And go to the last score line, cut it to the second score line, get rid of the rectangle on the bottom, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, now you need a corner rounder, and I'm going to round the corner of this side that sticks out the farthest over here, and the 1-inch pieces on the top and bottom here. Okay, and this is what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring and cutting. Okay, now I'm going to get some liquid glue, and we're going to start over here on this side and put some glue on both of those tabs. And we're going to take the score line and match it with the side of this inner rectangle. And just make sure that those are nice and straight with each other. Okay, and then put glue on this next side, and we're going to attach the score line to the other side of that same rectangle. Okay, and that's the box. Alright, so now we need our DSP, the 2 pieces of Joy of Christmas that are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 are going to go on the top flap and inside the top flap. You can get a third one and put it at the bottom, but I feel like this always is going to stay on the ground, so you don't really need that. Alright, and then the long sides, 1 by 3 3/4, and the short sides, 1 by 2 3/4. And put all of this on with liquid glue. Okay, and before you put the front one on this flap here, you want to round one of the long sides. Before you put it on, and then it will match up nicely. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put the closure on. I'm using low profile 3/8 inch Velcro dots, and I'm going to put 2 on this time. I'm going to put one right here. You could put one in the middle, but this time I'm going to put 2 right there, and the other one upside down. Okay, and then close it and make sure that your sides are good, and then just gently push it and see if it took. There we go, and then reinforce them. All right. Okay, now let's let that dry and we'll do our stamping. Alright, so we need our basic white, and let's start with the shaded spruce, and we'll do the largest tree. Okay, and we also need in shaded spruce this little thing that connects the gondola to the wires. Okay. Now, with real red, we're going to do the gondola. You can use your stamping platform. We don't have the Stamparatus anymore, but you can use this if it doesn't come dark enough to your liking. Okay. And then we just need, with Cherry Cobbler Ink, the Happy Holidays. Okay, and then I'm going to use the dies to cut them all out. This one is the big tree. For this piece, you're going to match up the top part and the sides, and then there'll be a little bit extra underneath it, and that's what we glue the gondola to. All right, and then the gondola is this one, and this is the one I used earlier for the piece out of Cherry Cobbler. And I'll be right back. Okay, now we'll put our Christmas tree cake in there. You could use the merriest trees for this too. It would be very cute. All right, first we're going to put down our snow. It's going to hang over this edge and this edge just a tiny bit. And I'm going to put it flush on the bottom. Remember, I cut this down to a height of 1 1/4 and a length of 2 7/8. Okay, and that's out of glitter paper. And I'm just gonna let it hang over just a tiny bit on either side, and I'm gonna have it flush to the bottom. Now let's get our tree, and we're gonna put our tree right here with dimensionals, and I'm gonna have to probably cut up a side for the very top. And for the bottom, I'm going to just cut a sliver for that. And we'll have to do a sliver for the gondola thing too. And then I'm just going to put 3 more. All right, and we're going to put this towards the left, or on the left actually. All right, now for the gondola, first we have to add this little cage on, and I'm just going to try to get the littlest amount of glue out and then spread it. All right, and what it's going to do is cover up these white lines here. And but you can still see the door handles kind of through it. There we go. All right, and then the gondola, we just put a little bit of glue on that extra bottom piece they gave you. And then put it right in the middle of the gondola. I used the middle of the doors to kind of help me there. Alrighty. Now we got to figure out some more dimensionals. So I'm just going to put them across the bottom. And I could probably fit a nice one right there. And maybe I'll cut the side off in half, and I'll put one of them right up here on the top of the gondola. And then I'm going to put, my goodness gracious, excuse my nail that fell off. These right here. And then I'll just cut another little piece for the other side, the third bar here. Or you could just glue this down. If you don't want to go through all this stuff, you could just glue it down. All right, and then I'm going to put it so that it hangs over the tree a little bit, but this top of the gondola is over onto the cherry cobbler area there. And you see some of the tree through it. All right. Now, the ones over here I should have told you to put just glue, but it really works fine if you did just like me. Okay. Now for the sentiment, I'm just going to cut this out by hand. I'm going to try to round the corners just a little bit. And then we're just going to, I'm deciding whether I want to pop it up or glue it flat, because this is a little bit of something there. I think I'm just going to glue it. Okay. Then I'm going to get some of the silver trim. This is from the Simply Elegant trim. I don't think it's in stock right now, but you can use any. You could actually use baker's twine too if you'd like. Just going to do a little bow. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm just going to roll it up and put it right on the back of my bow, right on the knot. And then I'm going to put it right on this gondola piece right here. So cute. All right. And for the final touch, we're going to be using the Iridescent Discs. I'm going to be using real red ones. And I'm going to put 5. So I'm going to start up here with 1, 2. I'm going to put one right inside the window here. 3, 4, and 5. I want this one up just a little bit more. There we go. And that's it. If you have any questions, my email is below, along with the links to my blog and my Facebook page, and also the link to my shop where you can purchase these. This stamp set is on sale. The dies aren't, but the stamp set is, so it may go fast if you're looking for that. All right? Have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you next week. Bye.